Hi guys, this is Desmond and welcome to my first ever podcast video. So basically in this video we will be discussing about ghost stories and I have two of my good friends who will be joining me for this conversation.
Okay. So, hi guys. Hi Desmond. Hi Sunny. Priyanka here. Uh, I'm from Pune. Very joyful person and love listening and talking about ghost stories. That's about me.
That's why you're the first guest.
Woohoo! I have so many, but I can't even think about which one I want to start off with. Maybe I'll try and save the best for last.
Don't know. So let's go to Sunny. His pet name is Sunny.
Okay.
Right. So, hi guys, hi listeners. What's up, people? So, my name is Sachit. My nickname is Sunny, and I'm an entrepreneur. Run my own training and recruitment firm, basically from Mumbai. And ghosts are like my cousins. I'm always in and around them.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting.
So yeah.
So basically, for my first, podcast video, I've selected you both because whenever I had a conversation with you both, you all had the best horror stories, which you can tell.
And for me, it's true stories, not fake stories.
Yeah. So that is what we'll keep it through and simple. So we'll start with Priyanka. So the first story will, Priyanka will be telling us. So you can start whenever you are ready.
All right. So, guys, as profession, I'm a cabin crew. So I have a lot of stories that we crew share about and our own experiences that we come across. So I'll tell you one of the space. My neighbor, who is also my friend, she's Thai by nationality, and she said that she is able to see ghosts. This is something that she has since childhood. A lot of Thai people do have it. But so I asked her, like, have you seen one and what have you experienced? So she told me one of the scariest feeling that she had was, so we did this long haul flight to one of the destinations in Australia. I will not be specific because if any crew here, they get scared and they don't want to fly to that destination. So one of the destinations in Australia. So we land at night time. So it's already sunset and we're dead tired because we do like 14 hours flight non-stop. So she gets the room key, and now when she's going up, she gets a funny feeling in the elevator, but she does not acknowledge the feeling, and she's like, okay, because she can already sense something, but she just disregards it. And by the time she reaches to her floor, as soon as the door opens, she sees a lady. She's standing in the corner. So it's the lobby around that one is quite big. It has like long mirrors and not mirrors, I would say windows. And in one of the corners, there's this lady standing. She's Asian looking and she has her hair covering half of her face. And when she just lifts up her head, she notices that she's actually floating like 1 feet above the ground. And so she was so frozen, she didn't know whether I should go out or like just stay in and go down again. But then she decides to walk out. And when she walks out, she just can feel the lady turning towards her. And she just like zooms in the lobby and rushes to her room. So that's my first story.
So
And it's true.
Did she tell anyone, like the staff members in the hotel?
No, she did not tell, because a lot of hotels that we crew stay in, it always has a history of it being haunted. But this particular one does not have any backstory. But there is another one I will tell you, a short one later.
Okay. So that was a quite interesting and a new ghost story which I've heard from you.
Yeah,
So
you have.
Let's go to Sunny, Wicked Sunny. We'll start hearing
Yeah.
Sunny now.
Sure. So this is basically a narration of two people based in a small little town in Austria called Linz. So you have two. Linz is basically the land of Red Bull and Adolf Hitler. So you have a lot of Nazis over there. So these two were brothers, and Danny and Connie, very enthusiastic travelers. So they were into business and earned a lot of money and decided to explore unexplored places in the world. And after doing a lot of research, they came to know about a small little tribe in Ladakh, India, Ladakh. So a little history of this tribe. So these are two villages in the valley of Dhanu. That is 163 kilometers northwest from Ladakh.
Sorry, Danu.
And since it's
the Danu.
No.
Okay.
No. It is Dha and Hanu.
Okay.
So it's Dhanu.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dha.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dha and Hanu are two villages in Ladakh. Now the people who stay over there are basically untouchables. Similarly, like the tribe in Manala in Himachal. Similarly, but then these people call themselves descendants of Aryan. So they actually, every one of them, whoever is a full-grown adult, is basically above 6 feet 5 inches, face is really long, and hands as, two of your palms, such big hands.
Wow.
Now these people really exist. Now, even now, yes. To protect the secrecy of the tribe, no civilians or none of the army troops in and around Ladakh or Kargil are allowed to visit these two places, Dha and Hanu. So these two thought that, this is something very different and exciting, and we should probably go and, see and, understand that what exactly the tribe is all about. Now, these people are a combination of Indonesia and Europe. They're a mixed breed. This is the only tribe wherein a woman is allowed to have two husbands and the man has to pay dowry.
Wow.
Lovely.
So,
What a place, man.
yeah. And these women offer themselves to protect the appearance of them because they don't look Indian descendants. They have blue eyes. They are very fair, a very unique tribe in India, which people are really not aware about. So these people travel and they reach Ladakh and they were telling, people that this is the place what they want to visit because women offer themselves over there and they pay these Europeans money so that they can expand their civilization. So what happened when they were researching about this after reaching Ladakh, they were trying to talk to people so that they could take them to this place. But then since it's a complete ban of secrecy, it's very difficult to get over there. Some or the other way they planned to visit and they went over there. They reached the village and they were looking out for a place to stay, and they saw this family who were ready to negotiate for some amount of money so that they can come and use their women and stay along with them. Now this family had 5 males and 10 women's.
Ooh.
And there were 23 children.
My God.
Out of which 2 of these children were very fascinated looking at these Europeans, Danny and Connie. And they were very playful. So when they started staying along with them, the men would leave the house and these 2 people could choose amongst the women and take money and be with them. A very different ritual. So now what happens, when these 2 are alone, along with the women in the house, these 2 children who were very playful, they enter in suddenly. And they say that whatever it is, we want to play now and later we will go back. And these children were around 16 to 17 years of age and they understood that what was happening. And when they started playing along with Danny and Connie, they started playing very rough. They would throw stones at Danny and Connie and laugh. They would try to hit them with belts. So everything was very strange to these people, that why are these 2 children behaving in such a way? And they got a little curious to understand and try to ask them that, why do you hit people and laugh? Connie, since he was a lot into, ghostly activities and research and paranormal stuff, understood that there is something wrong with these children. And he thought that it might be a kind of possession or something related to The Omen. As we all know, have you seen the movie Omen?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
the
You
Antichrist
name
child.
it, we've seen it.
Yeah. So he thought that might be something of that sort because this child had a very wicked look. And
Okay.
when he looked at somebody and when he laughed, they could actually see somebody standing behind and just putting fingers and making that child laugh. It was not
Like
him,
a puppet,
like a puppet,
basically.
exactly.
Freak.
So this Connie could see an entire aura standing behind this person and got a little shaken up, and he told Danny that, Danny, this is something weird and I really don't want to do this anymore. Let's go out of here. So they said that we would leave tomorrow early in the morning, first thing by around 4 o'clock. And when they packed the bags, they started packing the bags. People came in and asked that, why are you leaving so suddenly? And they said that we have some things to do and we would be coming back because they couldn't leave that way. So when they were going back, they saw these two children standing on the roadblock towards the cliff. And
I have a question. Were the
yes.
villagers able to see these two kids, or it was only the European family who were able to see them?
I'll get back to that.
Okay.
So when they saw these two children standing over there, they said that we want to play again with you. We don't know when is the next time you're going to come back, so let's play. And Connie was already scared. And Danny didn't take Connie that seriously, and he said, all right, fine, what do you want to play? He said, we'll throw stones off the cliff. So they went towards the cliff and they started throwing stones, and to see that whose stone goes the most farther. And they started throwing stones, and suddenly the wicked child comes from behind and they push Danny and Connie off the cliff. Luckily, they just fell 23 feet down because it was a platform and they fell on that. They open their eyes and they find themselves in the hospital after 5 long years. After 5 long
5
years.
years?
Long years.
After
5
5
years,
long they were in coma.
Oh my God.
The last what they remember is that they fell off the cliff. These people again went back, located the same place again, coming to know that there was nothing ever existed.
Oh my
There was
God.
nothing over there. It was just barren land. There were no families. There were no village.
So it was
There were
just
no children.
a head, or they really experienced that?
They don't know.
So this is that same Danny, that Chota Danny from Andaz Apna Apna?
Butler Danny.
Butler Danny. No, but then it couldn't be like, if it's an imagination, it would be only one person. How can both of them see
two
the
of
same
them.
thing at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
Unless they were drugged or they were tripping on something really good stuff, right?
You've seen Welcome Akshay Kumar's Welcome.
No.
ये राज भी उन्हीं के साथ चला गया सर.
Probably. Maybe they were on some good shit.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
All we know.
they had a detour via Himachal.
Yeah.
Good,
You get good
story.
mal there.
Heard about this tribe, basically. But I
So
would
if you Google it, this tribe actually exists.
it really?
Really?
Yeah. So my mom told me about this tribe, and then I started doing a little research about them. And this tribe really exists, but then people are not allowed to go over there. You just can't go over there. Being Indians, being from anywhere in India, you just can't be over there, apart from foreigners.
Oh, okay. So let's go to the next story, which Priyanka will be telling us.
Aren't you going to tell us one of yours, Desmond?
I'm the host, buddy.
Even hosts should have something to entertain the guests.
I will tell surely very soon. Don't worry.
Okay. So I'll tell you another story which happened in Pune. So this is like a really old story. So one of my uncles, so back in the days, if you're familiar with Pune, so Yeroda side, like where now the airport is, that side, everything was like a barren land.
Lohegaon, right?
Yeah, Lohegaon, exactly. So now you have these Yeroda bridge, which was built like many years ago, the ancient times. It's a very popular bridge, Yeroda bridge. which goes over the Mutta River, which is in a bad condition, but yeah. So in those days, he used to go on the cycle to work because he was working in construction site. So after the shift, my uncle was returning back home. My uncle, it was when he was like a young boy. So when he was returning back, just at the beginning of the bridge from the other side coming towards Koregaon Park. So he was on that side, and then he saw this lady. She was waving out to him and she was asking him for a lift. And he had a couple of drinks like Desi Daru. But then so he was contemplating, shall I take, it's pretty dark and no lights, nothing, what to do. But there was like street lights on the bridge itself. So he's like, okay, fine. So she sat at the back, where the carrier is, the old cycle. So he's riding. And then she's talking to him and she's asking, Tambaku aahe ka? And he's like, nahi hai. And he's riding, but the cycle is heavy, so he can't ride really fast. So he was being careful. He's riding. And while he was pedaling, he just put his head down and he noticed her feet were backwards.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And now a lot of things are going through. And that Yeroda bridge is still standing and it's pretty big. Like it's, I think, a kilometer. Now he's riding halfway and going. And then she's again asking, Tambaku aahe ka? So he's like, nahi hai. And he's like, tumi kuthe challa hai? Kutho sodu? So she's like, nahi, just by the end of the bridge, you drop me and I will be fine. So he's like, okay. He's riding and the cycle is getting heavier. So it is heavy, so he's actually putting his whole life into it and he's pedaling really hard. And he's getting this very eerie feeling, but he doesn't know like what's happening. But he's seen that her feet is backward and he's freaked out because she was wearing a sari. And when he was just towards the end of the bridge, he quickly tilted the cycle sideways, dropped her, and he rode as fast as he could for his life. And he just zoomed past the bridge. The minute he passed the bridge, he could hear her screaming, Vatsla re Vatsla, Sharad Vatsla, Vatsla re Vatsla, Sharad Vatsla. So she chanted that 3 times and his gun was put out. He came home. He came home and he was sick. Like he told his mom what had happened and he was in bed for 3 days with freaking high fever. And then he quit the job, obviously. And his name was Sharad, which he at no point had told her anything. They did not discuss what's her name or anything. But she knew his name exactly and she said, Vatsla re Vatsla, Sharad Vatsla.
My God.
In a high-pitched voice. Yeah.
Vatsla means look.
Vatsla means you got saved.
Vatsla. In Marathi, saved. Vatsla. Saved.
Oh,
So
shit.
Vatsla re Vatsla, Sharad Vatsla. So Sharad, your life has been saved. So I don't know if he would have still continued the journey with her, what would have happened, maybe possessed or what. But there are a lot of stories regarding, so there are a lot of stories about the bridge.
So just a little thing about Pune only. Desmond, you remember I told you that incident wherein that woman is right next to you, running at the speed of the car. I guess that's also that Yerwada bridge. I guess Dandekar or Holkar was some.
Holkar bridge, yes. Holkar bridge is also there. Even that one is pretty haunted. And that's a very low-rise bridge. And just besides that is the Smashan Bhumi, where these Hindu people, they burn bodies there. And they throw ashes. Yeah, that Holkar bridge is also pretty haunted. Next to Macro Gardens.
Yeah, so basically all these cab walas who are taking people back home from these call centers and BPOs, they avoid taking that road.
True that. I have gone on that road and we were like, Bhaiya, koi bhi rasta lo, ye rasta mat lo. And there is no light till date.
Freaky. Is it actually that bad?
It is. Till date, they don't have proper lighting there. Like, why?
Next
Oh.
time when I
Like-
come to Pune, you guys have to take me there.
Done. Desmond, I'll take you to all the bridges, leave you there, and we'll see who will scare who. The ghost will scare you, or you will scare the ghost.
That's the big question.
In any ways, I'm running to, or maybe not.
Sorted.
Yeah.
Famous. But Pune, you have a lot of haunted places. Even that Aund Khadki wala road, that Pune University wala road.
That is the one, the Holkar Bridge, Macro Gardens. It's behind there. So from there, if you go on the Holkar Bridge, you reach Macro. So that's the one that connects. Yeah.
So
I
there is
have a
one.
similar story like about you running. So that happened to one of my cousins as well, but that happened on Nagar Road.
Oh,
The running story. That was crazy as well. Maybe on my next one, I'll tell you after you.
so,
I have many. Now it's all gushing in.
imagine.
Thank you guys for watching the first part. I hope you liked our stories. Please do check out the second part, which will be uploaded soon on my channel. Thank you once again, and please like and subscribe. Peace out.